came bowling down the line, freaking put his elbows out, and pow. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Unknown Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Atkinson-Smith, and today's episode is 23. Let's get right into it. So, I just kind of wanted to start with a little factoid, so let's just get that. So, I don't know if you knew this, but movie trailers were originally shown after the movie, which is why they're called trailers, as in they trailed, the movie. So if you think about it, like, the thing that now comes before the movies come out, used to go after the movies came out, like at the very end. Which, if you think about like Marvel, it's very interesting how it works. Like, at the end of every movie nowadays, they have a little trailer for the next one. So like, they're already like, movies on movies ahead, and with all the hype coming up right now, Endgame's coming up, I'm really excited for that. And it's just crazy thinking about how they used to come afterwards, but now it's like the complete opposite, Just did like a 180, or 360. It just did a 360, yeah. Oh, my bad. It's a good thing I'm not in math at university, because I would not survive. And speaking of university, it's all like exams and papers, and I only have like a few exams, and I'm very fortunate that they're take home, so I shouldn't be complaining. My roommates are going through a lot tougher times with like exams coming up, and it really gets heavy when you have like 2 exams on one day and then one the next day and all that stuff. I'm lucky I don't have to deal with all that again. But that being said, I also have like 3 take-home exams due on the same day, and then due to the fact that I have take-home exams, I have a lot more other papers that I have to do, so all those papers are piling up for the last day of class, which is technically today, which is why I've been running on energy drinks and I look like this. And if you can't see me, I kind of look like a slob. I'm in like a gray shirt that's just, a little too long, I guess. It's very baggy. Okay, so I gotta fill you in on some news. I got a new tattoo. And the thing with tattoos is like, I guess some people have meanings. I don't really think you need a meaning. However, mine do have meanings. And the thing with all of mine is right before I got them, they would put the stencil on, and before every single one, I'd be like, damn, like I'm making a huge mistake. In like an hour, I'm gonna be really pissed at myself for this. But you know what, screw it. Like, I paid the artist already did it, they went through all this trouble, like I have to go through with it now. And I'm the kind of person who sucks at saying no. So this was like the toughest decision ever, to just be like, yeah. But you know what? I thought about it for months before. I knew what I was getting, and I knew why I wanted it, and that I did want it for a fact. And you know what? I grew to love them. So it's really awesome. I really do love it. I got a sword, and I'm really happy with it. The healing process really freaking sucks though, because it gets really itchy, and you can't itch it or you're gonna ruin it. So it's like that, it's like having chicken pox in one freaking spot, or a mosquito bite. In some fancy design. You just want to itch it, but you can't. Okay, also, I got a sweater for my birthday with the Unknown Podcast logo on it, and I think it looks freaking amazing. And I was running the Instagram page for it, and someone literally said, oh, like, I want a sweater. And I know it's something so small, but it means a lot. Like, that's something that I just kind of never expected, and I really appreciate the support of you guys, the listeners. So that goes up to you. It's a big thank you from me, from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. And moving on, so like I said, that was my birthday sweater. My birthday was the other day. I'm 21 now. Your boy's getting old. I can drink in the States. And I was actually talking about the different things you can do as you get older with my girlfriend the other day. I was thinking like you get like different achievements that you can unlock as you get older, Like, it's like the same as video games. When your character gets more evolved, you can just upgrade to different things. So when you're 18, you can like legally watch adult videos. You can like purchase lottery tickets. When you're 19, you can drink in Canada. When you're 20, it's it's like a chill zone. You just coast. You coast until 21, and that's the big one, because that's where you can legally drink like anywhere. You can drink in the States, which is pretty much like the latest, I think. I mean, 21 is kind of late. You can join the army and everything, but you can't drink. Like, that just seems a little off. You know what I mean? So my birthday, 21, I went to the bar with my girlfriend and one of my closest friends. I got a lot of support from my good friends, so that was really nice. But at the bar, I actually did karaoke, and I did like a 3-people karaoke. I missed my flippin' song. I had the nerve to sign up. Like, usually I would be terrified to do that, but after a few drinks and a lot of encouragement, I was like, screw it. As long as you two do it with me, I'll do it. And I freaking missed the song, and someone took it. And then the whole bar started singing, and it was so cool. And then some like older gentleman bought me a shot because he heard it was my birthday, and he started talking to me about his life, which, you know, it happens, especially at a bar, like especially a chill bar like that. And he started going on, and he was talking about like how he broke up with his wife because like she was like too controlling, and then he became a trucker and he's living out his dreams and stuff like that. Just sleeps with his truck, and I mean, oh man, yeah, he has sex with his truck. No, I'm joking. He lives in his truck, and he, you know, just does the driving, and he loves it, and he stops here and there, and that's the life in his eyes, because he was explaining to me, and he was like, I'm way happier now. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. But then he started going into like a deeper like conversation that I don't think I wasn't ready to have that. At least I was just in the chill, like happy mood. And then he's hitting me with all these like straight facts from his life about how he and his wife were miserable, and how like you shouldn't find someone who can't help themselves and stuff like this. And I'm just like, dude, like no, not right here, not right now. Like, this isn't the place or the time. Like, I'm a nice person, so like I heard him out, and I tried to like say like, you know what, like it's okay, like you moved on now, you don't have to worry about that. But this freaking man going on and on about this personal, super personal stuff. This guy was saying like, oh, my wife used to control me so much that she would give me her old phone and I wasn't allowed to get another one. And I was like, dude, like who's man's? Why don't you just live your own life with your wife? You're supposed to be a team, not like some like controlled little bot. Like it's like the hand-me-downs and has to do exactly what they say. Like that's a partnership. That didn't sound like a partnership. And he was going on and on. I kind of just, you know, he actually got a new tattoo too, and I didn't have the nerve to tell him, but it was like, it had like a Van Halen, was it Van Halen? I think it was Van Halen. It was like a devil, and it had a mic going to its mouth, but it kind of looked like, I would never have told him this, but it kind of looked like the devil had like, you know, he was like sucking, it looked like he had something else in his mouth, and it was kind of just like, once you see that, you can't unsee that. And he was telling me like how great the artist was and everything, but no, it did not look like that good of a tattoo. And yeah, so that's just like everything that happened. That was a night. And now, speaking of like my birthday and now all my papers, you know, my attention span. Like I said earlier that I've been on energy drinks recently, like the last 2 days, which is very true because my heart is pounding, and today I didn't even have an energy drink. I had one yesterday. Today I just had coffee. And oh my goodness, my attention span is so freaking bad. But it's weird. I'm really weird the way my brain works. It's like I'm very slow and I don't want to do anything because I cannot get myself to focus. Like I'll do anything but focus, literally anything. I'll play around with something on the table before I'll focus on my papers. So it's really hard for me to get myself like sitting down, looking at what I'm supposed to do and actually working and progressing on it. But when I do that, when I'm able to focus, I'm freaking fast. And you know what I think about? It's like, I'm like a turtle, you know? Everyone thinks they're slow. If you look at tortoises, like when they're walking, or sometimes turtles eat too, when they're like doing menial things, like they're really, really freaking slow. But you ever see a turtle freaking run? Oh my goodness, they're fast. They're fast and they book it, you know? So, you know, they're slow. Everyone thinks they're slow, but sometimes they can be freaking fast. That's just how my brain works. That's how I focus. It's like I'm slow all the way up leading into an assignment, and then like the night before, I'll spend like 2.5, 3 hours just straight focusing on it, and I'll get it either mostly complete or fully done, and then I'm like, okay, that's good. And that's not how you should be working in university. I know that, trust me. Every time I do it, I'm like, why the heck did I do that? I gotta change things so it doesn't happen again. And then, the process, as it would, repeats itself. But that's a lesson I'm still trying to, still trying to learn, still trying to get that bad habit out. But that's just how I've worked, and it's hard to, just completely change something you've been doing for forever now, because I'm going into my 4th year next year, and I'm doing summer school, and it's just like, you know what, maybe over summer school I'll try to work on it. I'm also trying to do baseball, which is really exciting because I haven't played since I was younger, and I'm curious to see if I'm going to be playing with like older gentlemen, like people in their late 20s, early 30s, maybe even older. It doesn't really bother me because that'd be a lot of fun. You meet a lot of new people, but if it is, then I know that they know how to chirp, so I gotta work on my chirping. I gotta be able to stand up to them. If they're chirping me, I gotta be able to stand my ground, They have a lot of years on me, and they have back in the day, they used to chirp way more. They used to get into actual baseball fights. And I've only ever gotten close to getting in a baseball fight once, when this guy, okay, so I was the pitcher, and I was covering home plate while they were trying to throw it to me to get him out. Because the back catcher had to go get the ball, then he threw it to me. I was holding over the plate, got the ball, and I was waiting for him. And as I was waiting for him in a ducked position, he came bowling down the line, freaking put his elbows out, and pow, knocked me flying. And he shouldn't have done that. He should have just taken me out. There was a done deal. If it's the back catcher, you're allowed to do that because they have padding and everything. You're allowed to just bowl them over. And that's not even in all leagues, because I was just playing house league. But when he took me out, it was like, I went rolling and everything. And my team was not happy with that. They tried to get him kicked out. The umpire was just tired. He was like, it's a late game, so it's already 11:30. Calm down. There's no reason to kick him out. The game's already pretty much over anyways. So my team just started going nuts. Even my coach was getting a little melted to the other coach, and they rallied behind me, and it was they were ready. They were ready to full on brawl. That's the power of sports, and it's nuts. I freaking love when people get riled up with sports. If you watch a game where you're very passionate about it, say it's a playoff hockey game, and it's your team, and they win, and everyone freaking gets so excited, that's the best feeling. Those are literally the best feeling. But I will say that a lot of sports fans are just completely nuts. They're so nutty. You see them get in fights over stupid things, because someone else likes a different team, you just have to all of a sudden start fist fighting, no. Or they're chirping the players. The player will be in the box and they'll say some nasty things. They do not hold back. People, they don't think they're real people. They're just it's as if they're in a alternate reality, and they're just watching it from the outside. They don't take into consideration that these people are real, living, being humans with actual lives outside of the game. So they can say some pretty harsh things, and expect it not to be as impactful as it actually is. You would never say those things to just a regular person on the street. Why would you say them to this person? Because they're playing for your team, or they're playing for the team against your team. And I don't know, that logic just kind of, gets lost on me because I'm not a huge sports fan, and I'm not completely really into it, although I do kind of understand it a little bit. Because when I'm watching my roommates play soccer, I get so freaking into it, and when they start fouling my roommates, I'm like, no, I am not standing for this, and then I start the chirps, I get it going too. So I completely understand how people would do that for their team. However, in my case, it was actual people that I knew and cared about, so, And I think I would be like that too if I ever had kids, which, not thinking about that, but if I ever did, I'd want to have them sign up for sports so I can go to their sports games and just cheer them on and everything, and have the other dads and moms and be in a little clique, just watching their kids play the game. That'd be pretty cool. Also, there was this weird thing I was seeing going around where McDonald's is hiring people off of Snapchat, And I know that sounds freaking bizarre and ridiculous, especially to like people who are listening who are from an older generation who might think like, oh, like you go into just different places with your resume. Because even me, like I used to go to places with my resume and they would say like, oh, you have to hand an application in online. Like we don't do paper resumes. And I'm thinking like, well, now I have to figure out how to do that. And I'm not really good with those processes. So it was a little bit of a struggle. There are certain places that can kind of like distribute them to multiple places easier. Different websites that do that, but you have to be careful with that. And for this, it just seems all out like it doesn't make sense to me. Because what they want is a short video that shows them why you should work at McDonald's. And I guess you could say that's more personalized, but like it just seems really, because it doesn't show like what you've got under your belt. And I get it, for people who are getting their first job, like that's the perfect in. If it's your first job, you don't have much experience, all you have is yourself, and you can showcase what kind of person you are, your personality a little bit, your charisma, whatever it is. So yeah, that's a way for you to do that. But for people who are looking for actual jobs, I don't think social media should be something that determines it. If anything, like it's a factor that deters someone from hiring you, because if you have a very negative social media, say like you have like posts that discriminate against certain people or tear other people down, like bullying, then they're gonna be like, okay, this is not the kind of person I want working for or represented in my company. So like, you know, oh man, my team or like my roommates and I play for a certain team, and we recently just had our playoff games, which were super intense. And I will say they were a lot of fun, but there was so much like team spirit on the other team. They had a freaking orgasm every time they scored, and we're over here just like chilling, like, okay, yeah, you scored, calm down, like you've already destroyed us. But they had a lot more players reserved than we did. We had we had maybe 2 players that we could switch off with, and we had already played, oh wait, shoot, this is a different game. So my roommates were playing their playoff game, which is a more serious league, and they had played 3 games total, including the last one. The team who they were facing had already only played one other than them, so they were the second, and they had more people to switch off, so it was completely unfair when like this team was like completely going off and celebrating, orgasming every time they freaking scored, because it was ridiculous. It was like this team, like if you were to face them when they had rest and players as backups, they would have freaking crushed them. But you know, the scheduling kind of screwed them up, and that's the second year that happened, which is nuts. But you know what? Playoffs were a lot of fun. I'm happy. I'm excited for baseball, and I'm gonna end this episode a little bit early. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you for the support. I mean, thank you for the birthday messages too, and I had fun. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.